project, the I'm Loving Me project, making sure that my internet is up and everything is working the way it's supposed to. Uh, I don't know what's going on with the internet lately, but every time I try to stream through this app, I get this up and down thing, but we're going to work through it. Okay. I want to welcome all of you who come on in the morning. Hey, Khadijah. And I want to just say thank you guys for, just coming on with me in the mornings, actually, when I get here to get some inspiration to go ahead and start your day. The reason why I do these, hey, Vanessa, the reason why I do these is because I want to constantly remind you and keep you in that space of where you need to be to let you know that self transformation is real. You can reach your goals. You can be that person that you want to be. You can achieve peace. You can have the love that you want, and everything is attainable. The only thing you have to do is put it in practice. And to be an example of that, I go ahead and I try to do my work and put myself into practice. And as you guys know, it doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to, right? But if you keep working at it, it'll get better and better because it's all about practice, right? And so I was sitting here this morning, just saying to myself, what is it that I can talk about today? And the biggest thing is intuition and knowing and understanding when we need to listen to our gut feelings, because we always get these gut feelings, right? We always get these things that are these silent whispers that come into our minds and our hearts, and we always try to rationalize them and ask ourselves, oh, is this coming from a good place? Is this a negative thing? How am I supposed to take this? Where really your intuition is there because it's that silent whisper for you to listen to. Hey, Kim. Hey, Sharon. So that you know and understand that that little small voice that you're listening to is really the God in you giving you the answer that you've been looking for. But what we do is we rationalize it, we try to ignore it, we try to let that thing go because sometimes it's not what we want to hear, right? We think intuition is supposed to always be something positive, where deep down inside, you know that there's something that's not right. Most of you guys are moms, probably all of you guys are moms, and you know when something is wrong with your kid. You know when you feel that there's something different, with your child, right? And the first thing that you say is, I know my child, right? Like I know how they work, I know how they maneuver, I know their personality. So you can't go ahead and pull the wool over my eyes, so to speak. When a person say, and when we say to people, I know you, right? And when we say to people, like, I just have this feeling, I just got this feeling. What's talking to you is your intuition, and you cannot ignore that little small voice that you have inside of you. I'm going to tell you guys something. So I remember this was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, right? I was I was laying inside the house. Well, actually, they're both not here now, so I can actually tell you the real story. So I went home to New York, um, when I was in college, and I went to my sister's house, and my sister um, husband used to drive me around because I was in Atlanta. He had coming back home, taking the bus and transportation and all that. That felt like a big chore, right? So I was going over to my friend's house, a guy that I liked, and he lived way out somewhere. So I drove. Well, he drove me down to his house, and he was being nosy. He was like, who's this person, blah blah blah. So I let him meet the person and everything, and we were just sitting around chilling. Around, I tell y'all, around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I kept getting this feeling to call him to come and pick me up, right? And but I didn't want to intrude because I was saying like he just brought me all the way out here. I'm in the Bronx with them, and then you drove me all the way out here to Brooklyn. And now I'm asking you to get up 8 o'clock at night, come all the way out to Brooklyn to come get me, right? And take me back home. I was like, nah, don't be so selfish. You could go ahead and take the train home. But something kept telling me, ask him to come, ask him to come. And I was like, man, nah. So I took the train home, y'all. And when I took the train home, I got in the house, there was nobody there. So I was like, okay, well, they were out anyway, right? My sister and her husband. So I go to the computer and there's a note on the computer that says, Gloria, call Al's mother's house, right? And I said, oh man, like what happened? All this stuff, right? I'm thinking something with my sisters, or they wanted me to come over. So when I call and I'm like, hey, where's my sister? Like what's going on? They said, Gloria, Al killed himself. He shot himself in the head. And I was so silent, and I was so surprised and shocked. And I was like, what? I was like, get out of here. That man was so confident. It wouldn't, nothing like that would ever happen, right? And they was like, no, here's your sister. And she's just crying and all this stuff. And so I'm saying to myself, well, I got to get to her, right? Let me get to where she is. So I get over there and I'm trying to figure out what happened. Can I tell you, it happened at 8:30 that night. When I was having that feeling the whole time to call him, I didn't, right? I didn't, because what I was saying and rationalizing to myself, right, is that I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to go ahead and intrude. I was already staying at the house, being, on summer vacation from college and all this stuff. And I didn't want to uh, 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 be so needy, right? So, of course, that's the first thing that came up in my mind, where I was like, God, was I supposed to call this person? Was I supposed to call him and tell him to come get me? Because what I knew for sure is that whatever it was that he was doing, he would have dropped it and came and got me. Right? And that feeling was inside and inside of me and inside of me, and I ignored it. So for a very long time, I held that thing where I said to myself, I couldn't control what the outcome was going to be, right? Because if it didn't happen that day, it probably would have happened another way or in a different scenario, right? So I don't beat myself up for that. But what I always think about is that feeling that I had that I didn't follow through on, that I knew I should have followed through on. Does that make sense? How many times have you had a feeling that you know you should have followed through on? And you rationalize and you came up with so many excuses and you just sat there and you did nothing. And then you see whatever it is that you were supposed to do come to pass or not come to pass, and you saying to yourself, damn, I knew I should have did that. That small voice that you're hearing, that inkling that you have, that little whisper that you have inside of you that is telling you what you need to do. You got to be able to have good discernment and sit back and listen to that voice and not rationalize. And you know the difference. See, you know the difference between when your mind is talking and when you have that gut feeling. That gut feeling is something that you can't explain, right? That gut feeling is not your mind talking. It is something, it is something that you feel that is strong, but you are not sure if you should follow through on it or not. We all have it, right? And we say to ourselves, if I would have listened to my first mind, that's what my grandmother used to say. If I would have followed my first mind, I would have been okay. But we make all these excuses because we think that we shouldn't intrude, impede, or say anything, or just stay quiet because we believe that we don't want to cause any kind of trouble or anything like that. Where we gotta understand that it's there for a reason. It is our inner guide that God gave us. It is our inner discernment where we know that there is something that is just not right. You know how you know too? You know how you walk in an environment where people were talking, or you walk into an environment where things were happening, but it immediately stopped, and you just get this feeling over you, and you saying, I wonder what happened in here. It don't, oh, the energy in here just don't feel right. Right? Where you could tell that somebody was just arguing 3 or 4 minutes ago, but they stopped when you got there, or something, was really going on, but you could feel it, but you don't know. That's your intuition. That's your intuition. And we got to learn how to tap into it, and we got to learn how to listen to it. The reason why we don't listen to it is because we have this fear, but we can't, we got to know the difference between our own selfishness and our discernment and our intuition. Our intuition comes, and I don't know if it worked. I could tell you when it comes for me. It comes when you are just sitting around and somebody's talking and you just have a thought. I'll tell y'all, on Friday, I went I went out with my friends on Friday, and we went to this lounge, right? And there, we sitting in a little VIP area, and my intuition went off. There was a young lady sitting next to me because they were pretty close, right? The seats were pretty close. And it was her group of friends that were there, right? Apparently, the guy that she was with, this is young kids, probably no older than 22, right? The guy that she was with, I guess she wasn't giving him any attention. He lunged at her to grab her, and she kind of moved away. And then she got up, and then he got up. And when he was, I guess they went to go talk somewhere, he pushed her out the door. Now, all my bells are going off, right? All my bells are going off because I'm saying to myself, okay, is this young lady being abused? I don't know. No man. This is me. This is her. It's two people. He goes and lunges over the two people to try to get her attention because she's looking this way because she's not paying attention to him. And then he pushes her out the door. Right? So I'm sitting back. I didn't pay attention to anything. I didn't meddle in anything. But then maybe after a while, maybe 10 minutes, they came back in and she sat right back down next to me, right? And so I just turned to her and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I was just having a bad day, all day." I said, "Honey, that don't look like a bad day." I said, "That look like you are being abused. Is he abusing you?" And she said, "No, he's not." I said, "Let me tell you, let me say this another way. If he is putting his hands on you in any kind of way that is uncomfortable for you, where you have to defend yourself, then he's abusing you. I saw this man lunge over to grab you from three people. He could have went around, took your hand and said, 'Let me talk to you.' But his reaction was something different. Now, what I do know is what abuse looks like. Now, if you think that that is not abuse, okay, right?" And so she said, "No, no, no, it's not like that. I just had a hard day, and you know, um, I just don't feel like talking right now." I said, "Okay." And you just got to leave it alone, right? You just got to leave it alone. But my intuition told me what was going on. And I said to myself, even if I drop a seed in this young lady's mind, because she might not be aware, or she might be used to it, or it might not phase her, that little seed that I drop might do something, or it might save her life. Does that make sense? We got to be able to see things and listen to our intuition. And even if we feel like we are out of order, we have to be able to say something, take action, or do something, because you never know if it will save somebody's life, right? So I dropped my seed. I don't know what life is going to be like for her, but I did what my intuition told me to do. I did what God told me to do, right? Now, give it 10 more minutes. Her friend, her friend who was on the other side of the table, because none of the friends moved, y'all. It was like they were so used to this. Nobody was surprised. The friend goes and she says to me, she grabs me because I was dancing. And she said, "Thank you so much for checking on my friend to see if she's okay." And I said, "Honey, you know something I don't." I said, "And if she is your friend, then I need you to be a friend. Because if something is happening to her and everybody is sitting here not doing a damn thing, you either used to it or you don't care about her. Which one is it?" And I think it's the first one. You so used to it, it doesn't phase you anymore, right? Or you have said something and the seed and it hasn't transpired yet, right? But just like what we all know, we see it and we know the behaviors and we know what's going on. It might not be extreme, but our intuition is telling us something. And we don't have to go to great lengths and cause a lot of trauma. Oh, sometimes all we can do is drop a seed. All we can do is just expose it out loud, like I did with that young lady. And all I told her was, "Let me tell you what abuse is, honey. I don't know no man who's going to lunge over two people to get my attention." I don't know no man that's going to push me out the door so he can go ahead and talk to me. I don't know. No, I don't, that says something else, right? No more than 22 years old. No more than 22 years old. I don't know what that seed is going to do, but I know I had to follow my intuition. And you got to be able to listen to it and take that action because 99% of the time, it is the right thing for you to do. Sometimes we don't want to accept what it's saying. We don't want to accept what it's saying. Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you the difference between your intuition and the negative thinking. Now, the intuition doesn't say, and you guys notice, the intuition doesn't say you're not smart enough. The intuition doesn't say, "Oh, you stupid. You shouldn't be doing this, and you don't have the skills, and you'll never get that job." That's negative thinking. Those are ants. That's not intuition, right? Intuition says this: go get that girl. Intuition says, call your mother. Intuition says, go check on that lady that you haven't checked on in a while. Intuition says, go sign up for that class because it's going to help you. Intuition says, you might not want to stay here any longer. Intuition says, something bad is going to happen if you keep doing this. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't call you stupid. It doesn't tell you that you are, it doesn't put you in no fearful state. It doesn't talk to you negative. It gives you action. Does that make sense? It gives you action. It says, go to your little brother's house and go spend some time with him. My intuition told me that on Friday too. Call your little brother and go see him. And I did. Because I said to myself, I would never put myself in a position where I'm not listening to my intuition, because when I don't like the results that I get. Right? My intuition told me, go talk to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. And I haven't talked to them in a while because I felt like, we just wasn't on the same wavelength when it came to things. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm around people who are positive and want, stuff out of life, right? But my intuition said, go talk to them. And then when I called the person, I text them first because I was still hesitant. I text them first. And then I just was like, well, let me call. So I called and we started talking. And as a result of the conversation, it was like, Gloria, I needed to vent for a while and I needed to talk. There's a young lady that I'm mentoring now. And she said to me, she said, something told me to call you. And I said, yeah, what you need? She said, there's something that you said that it has really resonated with me. And you had me thinking all along, how do I go ahead and get rid of resentment? And the first thing that I had to do was call uh, um, my stepmother, because she always implanted in me how stupid I was and I wasn't good enough and all this stuff. And so she said, Gloria, I just had this feeling just to call her. And when I called her, the first thing that she did was apologize to me. and told me that she was sorry. And the reason why she was the way she was and why she was so sad is because her dad, the man she married, in the background was not the best person. So she took it out on the one thing that she knew he loved. Come on, y'all. And that all started with a gut feeling. She was healed because something in her gut said, go call her. And that's the reason why we got to listen. When our intuition start nudging us and talking to us, it is helping us move more towards who we really are. And we don't hear it here because this is where we have the negative thoughts. God put it right here and all over our body. I don't know if you get that, but that's how I get it. It ain't in my brain. It comes right here and it's just a feeling. It's like my body kind of like jumps and just be like, go do this. Go call such and such. That's why when y'all get random texts from me, right? When y'all get random texts from me and I'm like, hey, what you doing? How's everything going? Right? Because my intuition says, go check on such and such and see how they doing. You haven't heard from this person in a while. What they're up to? How is life going? And when I don't see y'all, I'm like, let me go check on such and such. Our grandparents and great grandparents had it where grandma always was like, go check on such and such and go sit there with her. And as much as you don't want to go to her friend's house, right? Oh my God, my grandmother used to do that. Go down there to Helen's house and take her this bread and take her this stuff. And I'm up there like, Helen's house smell like mothballs, right? And then she gonna make me sit there and talk, and then she gonna make me sit there and do all this, and you like, oh man, let me hurry up. I'm only doing this because mama told me to go here and do this. See, what your mama don't know and what you don't know is that, or what your mama knows that you don't know, is that intuition that she have about Helen, she's just trying to make sure she is safe. And every time I used to open the door and be like, hey Helen, my grandmother sent me here to, give you some things. How you doing? Everything is good with you? Da da da. And she like, yeah, come on in, come on in. And then it was always something, right? Honey, my remote don't work. I tried to mash it down, so I've been watching these judge shows for 2 days. And I'm like, did you change the battery, Miss Helen? And she like, I thought I did. I tried it, right? Then all of a sudden that you start to see that Miss Helen is suffering from loneliness and that she loves company and she wants someone there. And even though your grandma can't make it there because she got her own stuff going on, she knows how to still send the love and the help in order to help Miss Helen just cope another day through you. And it's the same with us, right? We can't ignore what our intuition is telling us. If it's telling you to go back to school, do it. If it's telling you to upgrade your skills, do it. If it's telling you to get a new job, do it. If it's telling you to look at that relationship for what it is, then you need to do it. Why? Because every day that you're not listening, the more pain that you are causing yourself. You might not feel it now, but sooner or later it's going to pile up. And you don't want to be in the situation of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. All because you did not listen to yourself, to that gut. Now, again, like I said, the gut feeling don't tell you how stupid you are and you're going to be lonely and you're not going to be with nobody and you need to do this. That's not what a gut feeling does. It tells you we're going to have to go and see if we can find our own place. We can't keep living like this. We gotta, I need to go and take a look at a couple of apartments for myself. You know what? I need to start saving my money a little bit more. Let me go here. You pass a bank and it says, go ahead and go there and see if you can open up a bank account. That's what intuition does. Go here and see if you can go ahead and get this loan. Just inquire. Your mind would tell you, oh, it's never going to work out for you. Why would you go out? Why are you feeling this way? All that stuff. That's what the mind tells you. But your intuition says, go in there and get some information. See what the requirements are. Right? Our intuition is God's way of talking to us, ladies. Every time you like, I'm waiting for a sign from God, I'm trying to see, if this is the right thing for me, just sit back and listen. Sit back and listen. And if it's anything that is negative, that is trying to hold you back, that ain't it. That ain't it. That's you. That's your thoughts. That's your mind telling you something different. It is telling you the negative side of who you think you are. Your intuition says, Khadijah, you know what? You can do this. Sharon, you know what? Go ahead and apply for that job. Even if you don't get it, it's okay. Go ahead and take that bold step and get that new car you want. Get the car you want. Go ahead and go and get that house. Go check on your aunt that you don't like, that you haven't talked to for years. Right? My intuition has been telling me that with my aunt for maybe 2 months now, y'all. And I'll tell y'all this short story and I'll let y'all go. My aunt and I, well, we really don't have no beef, but it's more like, I don't know. Her personality is something that you don't want to, I don't know. You know how when you start walking this journey and you try to get those negative things out of your life. And I just couldn't take how she was acting towards me and everything, right? So I was like, bump that. We had this war on Facebook a couple of years ago. And so when I did try to reach out to her, she like, what the hell you reaching out to me for? And you got all this going on, right? Now that's my aunt. My aunt, y'all, like, but we argue like we sisters. And so for 2 months, my intuition was like, call your aunt. Just call her and talk to her. And what is my mind saying? Nobody want to hear that bitch mouth, and I ain't got time for that, and I ain't doing this. And the minute that she say something crazy, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna do all this, right? That's what the mind is saying. But it keep nudging me. and I got to do it. And it might be that way, but you followed the intuition because you just never know, right? You just never know. So that's my thing this week. I'm gonna call her this weekend, and we just gonna get to it. And however it turns out, I did my job, right? I did my job. And it's the same thing with you. That gut feeling that you have is there because it's trying to tell you something. It is there to push you forward. It is there to help you get through things. Listen to it. Listen to it. And know the difference. Know the difference because that's important. Okay? I love y'all. I gotta go. My phone has been going off, off, off. But uh real quick, if you're a business owner and you want to be able to write a business plan, go ahead and get on our email list. I want to say go to imlivingme.net and join the email list. I think that's where it's up at. Join the email list there. We're going to send out an email. We're going to help you write your business plan over the course of a couple of days. We're going to go ahead and choose the best business plan. And outside of that, we're going to give you a $5,000 investment to go ahead and start your business idea or to refine the business idea that you have. Okay. If you go to Girls Leap on Facebook, Girls Leap Facebook, if you go to the Girls Leap Facebook page, you'll be able to join that, get on that, and then see all the stuff that we have that way. The best thing that you can come out with is a working business plan. That business plan is going to be structured for not only guiding you, but also helping you find investors. Okay. So if you don't get the $5,000 investment, you can take that plan and replicate it and send it out to potential investors, which is going to be at first your friends and family, so that you could go ahead and start building a dream that you want. But at least it'll be clear, concise. The financials will be right. You will know how to read a balance sheet. You will know how to create an executive summary. You will know how to create a pitch deck, and you will definitely know how to go ahead and start the budgeting process, okay, and how to write your mission and vision and all that. So the process is intense, but I guarantee you it's all worth it. Okay. So go to the Facebook page, join the Facebook page. You should be able to see everything there. Look out for an email. It's coming down in email, and I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a good day. Bye.